Hi, everyone. Welcome to Yacht Femme's first online forum. I am thrilled, just thrilled that you have all joined us today as we dive into the world of shipbuilding. This event brings together professionals from various fields within the yacht construction to share their expertise, discuss innovative ideas, and collaborate on advancing the industry. Today, we will learn about the current advances in each sector and hear predictions on how their specialties will evolve in the future. I am especially excited because for the first time, all panelists, moderators, and event strategists will be women, making this forum a pioneering event. So here's a quick overview of today's session. We will be starting off with next-gen yacht interior design, learning about sustainable practices and tech integration for interior excellence with Iliyana Popova, Dasha Moranova, and Carla Guilhem. We will continue with ensuring quality in yacht building, covering standards, AI-driven automation, and best practices with Sara Maggi. And we'll end today's session with revolutionizing yacht exterior design, diving into AI innovations and customizations with Antonella Scarfiglio. If you have any questions, please submit them as comments on the social media platforms you're tuning in from, and we will do our best to answer as many as possible while we're allowing our speakers to share their insights that they have prepared for you today. So we're getting started today in the interior design session. So in today's session, we're going to dive deep into the evolving landscape of yacht interior design, emphasizing the crucial role of sustainability and advanced technology in shaping the future. Participants will gain insights into the latest sustainable design practices, the integration of cutting-edge technology, and the visionary trends that are to set and refine yacht interiors. So without further ado, let's get everyone into the session. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited. We have with us Dasha Moranova from Dasha Moranova Design, Carla Guilhem from Design, Iliyana Popova from Ilios Decor. So these are all not amazing women. They're also entrepreneur and small business owners as well. Before we dive in, I want to give a brief intro of everyone here today. If you could give me a second then. Dasha Moranova is the creative director and founder of Dasha Moranova Design. You may have heard of her already because she's all over my Instagram feed on Yacht Dane because she recently was on the podcast. But for those that haven't listened to the podcast, here's a little bit about her. Dasha is a prominent interior design specialist in yachting and high-end residential design. She's been in the industry for over 15 years. She has worked on some of the world's most prestigious yachts with a design philosophy focused on well-being, sustainability, and innovation. Dasha is known for her work on projects like Lursen Shipyard Alice, a climate-neutral super yacht concept, and the Census Project, which integrates AI-driven technology to create holistic wellness experiences on board. Dasha has won several awards and founded her own independent design studio, DMD, 3 years ago. Hi, Hi, Dasha. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Carla Guilhem, let's continue, is the creative director and founder of Carla Guilhem Design, an accomplished interior designer with a passion of creating truly unique and memorable spaces. Carla has a background in architecture and in a degree in interior design. Her work has been recognized and celebrated worldwide. Her innovative and imaginative designs have earned her numerous awards, including Best Interior at the prestigious 2023 Boat International Super Yacht Design and Innovations Award. Her work has been featured in many prominent design magazines, and she has been invited to speak at numerous design events around the world, including today's. Welcome, Carla.
Yeah, thank you.
And last but not least, Iliyana Popova, the founder of Ilios Decor Super Yacht Interior Design, interior curator, and refit specialist. I also big shout out to Iliyana because she was the first one I reached out for the event just to see was this plausible, was everyone even available, because in Europe people have different holidays. So big shout out, Iliyana. Without you, we wouldn't even have a forum today. Let's continue. Iliyana specializes in bespoke styling for yachts and residences, focusing on service excellence and creating functional, aesthetically pleasing environments. Based between Monaco and Dubai, she's also a founding member of Viva, Nautical Solutions, offering refit services and designs upgrades for yachts. With experience as a project manager and part owner's team for Motor Yacht A and SAA, she is active on the YBY Monaco board, fostering industry connections and sharing her expertise. Okay, we can get started. If I missed anything, please add it. If not, we will start the forum. Any notes before we continue?
No, I think you did great.
Thank you. We just want to acknowledge you for putting this event together and show our gratitude for offering this platform for people to be able freely to listen to more insights from the industry, from ladies like us who are passionate to share our knowledge and our experience. And I think that's really, truly wonderful. And I personally want to thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for saying that. But really, without you guys, there would be no forum. So I am immensely grateful that everyone's in different time zones and was able not only to tune in right now, but also prepare for their sessions, have notes on what we were going to be discussing, making sure that all the participants have a really good understanding of what is the yacht interior design space. So without further ado, let's start with, this is a question for everyone. What owner preferences and lifestyle changes have you experienced? Dasha, can you start with that one?
Thank you very much. I think I would like to start with saying that the traditional definition of luxury has completely shifted from mere opulence and material luxury to experience and balanced lifestyle. I think the new owners seeking activities, enhanced personal well-being, healthy and sustainable living. They care more about environment now, mindfulness, and creating the new experiences, visiting destination. And I think yachting embodied this shift, offering not just opulence, but also the sanctuary and for the rejuvenations and self-care. And I think in order to embody the new lifestyle in terms of functionality, I think the ideal yacht are equipped with wellness facilities such as spas, gyms, yoga studios, but also office spaces where they kind of balance the lifestyle on board.
Thank you, Dasha, for that. Carla, do you want to continue?
Yeah, well, exactly the same way I saw this change. I believe before the industry, it was much more focused in the luxurious or more expensive and how to show off this, I don't know, more rare material, or how you can place some very expensive furniture in this, you know. And I believe, I think after COVID, this changed a lot because the people start to use more the boat with the families and really enjoy these spaces, and they understand that they can have the same lifestyle that they have in their residential in the yachts. And then I see in the refits as well, they changing spaces to make maybe the gym bigger, or the meditation room, or saunas, and all this these well-being spaces for the family. And I see that they really want to enjoy with the family. The spaces are bigger, like the living areas are bigger. The common areas are like, they are asking us to create much more enjoyable spaces to use with the family, more than party, or than, I don't know, friends. Of course, that's friends, but I just believe that the focus on how you use change. And as Dasha said as well, the age, I think, of the owners have changed a little bit as well, and that this creates another type of environment for the boats.
Iliyana, do you want to say what you think about that question?
Yes, I mean, I do agree with the ladies. They perfectly described it. People want to be having more transformative spaces that could be used for multiple functions. Let's say having morning yoga on the sun deck, which then transformed to a dining experience, or in the evening to a movie theater under the stars, or like little cocktail reception. Again, yachts are really following the lifestyle of their clients, their family, their invitees, their guests on board. I mean, we'll speak more about the different materials that people prefer, but yes, it's more, as Dasha said, like wellness is very important for them, connection with the sea, much more open spaces where they can socialize, areas with bar where they can get together, entertainment areas for the kids are also very important. Yeah, just multifunctional spaces, more open layouts, the connectivity between indoor and outdoor. Those are things we all experience, and also in terms of the different furniture and materials we propose.
Yeah, I think this is Ruben gave a very comprehensive answer, but there's a lot of similarities from what I understand. Have you seen any specific changes in consumer behavior or preferences that you see now will be shaping the future of yacht interiors? Iliyana, if you can answer that one.
I mean, more as you mentioned, I'm more specialized in the styling and decorative items, the furniture. So I do see that people are much more focused on sustainability and materials that are environmentally friendly, recyclable wood, alternative leathers that we can have from pineapple, from cactus, from apple, from beeswax. So I'm very excited that there is more and more options that we can offer also for the accessories. I'm really, personally, I'm more looking for certain things that reflect the client's personality in terms of the art pieces that we place on board, in terms of the decorative objects. I love meeting with artisans that make things by hand, which are truly unique to that client, things made from natural clay, from terracotta, from items that from materials that are much more closer to the nature and could be eventually recycled or
very important topic, sustainability, and we'll go into more the details of what materials are more sustainable and also shaping the future of your space. Dasha, do you want to talk more about, are there any consumer behaviors that you have seen change that you want to touch on?
I think Ili wrapped it up very nicely. It's very nice. So it's difficult to continue. But I think that in consumer, as we said, there is more awareness about the sustainability, about how we use the space and how we how we use the energy and everything. So I think it's definitely a new wave and very good for us as designers and many suppliers and who help to bring materials in, because there are many of them. Yeah. So I think personally, I'm really excited about all new trends in sustainable design, which are helping to find the natural ways to support and reduce energy consumptions. I think that's very important. Is really our collaboration between all contractors and suppliers and manufacturers, because we can really create something unique together, and it can be also specified for specific client or specific yacht, some bespoke design, bespoke finishes. We can create special new technologies for, lightweight materials, or focus more on bio-based and recycled composites. And there is a lot I think we will talk about lots of things now, so I don't want to touch everything, but yes.
So give me 1 second here. Carla, can you share what new materials are we talking about, and what design approaches do you anticipate becoming more mainstream in your field?
Well, I think all these materials that comes directly from some sort of nature that is easy to replace, like bamboo, hemp. There's a lot of new materials now that, of course, it stays long, but when you want to replace, they are bio, and I think this is a good choice. I see as well from the owners that they are looking for some the materials much more. They are looking much more for durability and that the design stays for a long time than before. If there is a fabric that, you know, I think before everybody was very worried about to sit in a furniture in a yacht. Oh my God, it's so perfect. It's so, you know, like the fabric, it's the most expensive fabric in the world, and you stay a little bit out of that fabric. And now the owners are looking more for something that you really can enjoy, that it stays a lot, that has this durability, that they can have children. There are some owners that want to bring the cats and the dogs inside. I'm hearing a lot that, and then I think it's this mix between sustainability and durability and comfort that they are looking for.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of also how I've heard a lot how the boats are getting bigger. People are changing how they use them. They want them also to be bigger because they're also spending more time in vessels. They're changing the different activities, so everybody now has their own space to do them. But I wasn't also thinking of the durability that comes with these new activities that they're welcoming on boards. That's a great point. Iliyana, can you talk more about the balance in between design luxury and the need for this sustainability design proposals?
Yes, in my proposals, which are again more for the decorative accessories, the styling, or even the furniture, the loose furniture, I always try to use a mix of well-known brands and other brands that are more focused on sustainability. Often they offer certain alternatives that are truly unique. I recently came across a Italian brand that offers lighting fittings made from autumn leaves that they collect. And I think if there is a story behind certain objects or certain items, the clients are more excited because they can share this with their friends. If I place something really truly unique inside their yacht, with a story, with a purpose, I think more and more people look for something with a purpose that they can display and showcase. So again, besides placing very known luxury brands, I always try to surprise them with something that I feel it could appeal to them, but at the same time, it's truly handmade and unique and hard to find. And that's what we all of us do here. We go to trade shows, we meet with suppliers. And I think if we take the project to heart, we can really place objects, or the girls, ladies, they create interiors that are truly reflecting that person who they have as their client.
Yeah, so it seems like sustainability, the conversation of sustainability design is also better received when you're talking about the uniqueness that it can bring with the memories and the stories. And that's why when you go to the trade shows, you get really in depth of what not only is new, but what best pieces will connect to that client and therefore be easier to push forward that proposal. Carla, do you want to add anything about how you see the desire for luxury and the need of sustainability in your proposals?
Yeah, I think because we spoke about the age of the owners, I think it's one point as well. I think the new generation is looking a little bit more about that, and it's still the kids now. I heard some stories than clients because the sons or daughter were why we are doing this or that, and I think the time that everybody is looking a little bit more. And there is one point that I always say is the design needs to be timeless. I think it's our, as a designer, you need to think about to design something that this owner and the future owner will like as well. Because if we are so trendy and if you create a building or a yacht so big that we are doing, you need to be careful and be aware that all the materials that you are using, that needs to be for years and years there. If you create something that is so crazy and so that it will be that the owners will be tired in 2 years. You need to rip off and put everything together again. That happens to me already, that some owners buy and rip off everything. I think this is something that we need to think about it as well. It's not only the materials, but the way that you design and what you design, you know?
And I like that you bring that point about when you sell a boat, or when maybe a new boat, a refit boat, and they put all their the interior or their soft goods, as they call them, on their own. But then when it's an older boat that they buy, that's the first thing they scrap, and there's no thought through of the process of after we take all the soft goods out, what happens to them. So I know we're not focusing on recycling, but it's also going from like sustainable when we start the project until the inevitable. There's a new owner. They want the interior space is what people change the most, because that's where they're spending the most of their time, and it reflects more of their personality. The exterior tends to be a little bit more friendly for different lifestyles and styles. So thank you for having us thinking about like what happens after, not only when the design process begins. Dasha, I have you a little bit quiet over there, so I'm giving you one of the questions.
I can add to this as well, Yvonne. Literally, I absolutely agree with Carla that when we design, you have to really think ahead. Also, when we design, I think really crucial is to do a good GA, which we call General Arrangement Plan, and how the unit is built, how the flow is done, how the interior is really sort of composed. So then I think that if the boat have a good base, really good base, then it's also for the next generation or next owner who would like to refit, it's easier. And maybe what we also do, I was thinking about, it's easy to replace several panels, because it's a nature that is a human nature that we want to live in different spaces, and we want to change our environment. So to build it or to design it in a way that you can easily just replace few panels and you feel that you are immediately in different space. I think that's also the way how to sustainably sort of do the interior design.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Let's talk more about technology. Are there any emergency trends or technologies in sustainable design that you are particularly excited about? That question's for Dasha.
Well, there are many, yeah. But I think that interior design, like new integration technologies. So I think I'm very excited about invisible technologies, and it's kind of a core of how I think the interior should be designed undistracted with like our plugs and switches and lighting. So integrating technology into yacht compromising aesthetics appeal requires really careful planning and attention to detail. And most important, I think, is the collaboration between the professionals, several professionals, because to build yacht takes a huge team of people. So the professionals, engineers, and technology experts. And important for implementing these new technologies and innovation is also we have to be user-centric, which means that we have to have focus on the owners and the guests, how they will interact with this technology, and make sure that the design really is easy to use and is comfortable and luxury. And we love to use hidden technologies, like it means not only like that we have invisible speakers and things are hidden behind the walls, and there is no longer that TV is behind the art wall panels, but now you literally can have a completely invisible TVs, which you have a nice veneer or marble, and you can click, and literally there appears a TV. So very happy to collaborate with one really innovative company, VBH, based in Holland here, and they are just amazing with all these innovations. But of course, flexible space, smart lighting, ambient technology. There's lots of designs and technologies which are now available, and we are very happy that we use them and collaborate with really amazing technical, innovative companies.
how it's more about. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. I was saying, I understand more when you're talking about technology coming into the interior space. There's more of a mindset of how do you integrate the materials into this new technology to enhance everybody's experiences. So I'm going to ask, just name one. What is, Carla and Iliyana, your favorite technology that you include in your projects? One. What's your favorite one? The one that you can't live without?
Good question. I think before I think something that's helping me and the studio a lot is not the technology that we use in the boat, but we use before on the project when we are doing the project, because now more and more the visualizations and how you can use VR to show the client how the interiors are is something that you put the client to enjoy the process with you. It's very, the process is not only that he received or they receive a project, but they enjoy to be together and see how it looks like. Like, seems that the happiness to receive the yacht is before. And I think it's helping, it's helped a lot how to decide, how to make decisions. Of course, that we need to be aware, because if not, we start to change everything all the time. It's a little bit tricky in how we can show this to the client. But of course, that's when the boat starts to be built, they know already what they will have. There is not bad surprises at the end. And I think this is something that is helping me a lot and that I cannot live without it.
I love that you say that, because it's so true. When I was in interior design and we could do these 3Ds, but then the graphics, not the tour, but we could create these very realistic 3D images. And then if something changed, because, you know, things happen, materials breathe, or there's something about a construction, just, you know, life actually changes and there's adjustments. But they would use these 3D images like they were contracts. Like they had signed when you offered exactly this image, how does it not exist? So it was a little bit hard when technology allowed us to go so realistic that now the client wanted exactly that because he saw it. Before, when you had these drawings by hand, there was some space left for the imagination to be like some interpretation, some flexibility. But if not, it was, no, I lived through it, I walked it. It was supposed to be 1 meter away from here. You have it in 1.5. What did you do wrong? Nothing. Iliyana, do you want to mention which is, if you have one, technology?
Yeah, I think the ladies already mentioned that they touched upon it, but also what I see when I do refit projects, one of the things that is very important is the lighting and the smart lighting features, you know, the motion sensors, because they are also helping to save energy. And also, you know, I believe I will be more and more involved with learning more about the preferences of the owners and preparing the yacht for their arrival with their setting the right temperature. So the crew doesn't need to do it manually. I think technology, smart technology will help also the crew to better cater to the guests on board and create better guest experiences. Set the right atmosphere with the right lighting, which, you know, gradually changes throughout the day. Also, with the touch of a button, you call the crew member to come and assist you, so you have a bit more privacy, but, you know, access to the right crew members. And I think from my side, which, you know, I've been an interior manager on big boats, I think this small, smart features make a difference to the client experience and also to the crew who is serving them.
Yeah. Being able to be accessible and have managed over and controlling the space with ease.
Yeah, and creating a comfortable environment for the guests on board. And being energy efficient.
Dasha, you want to say something?
Yeah. So I'm just like Iliyana, like creating a comfortable environment. So for example, in that sense, we created, I call it smart console, because for example, for our runners area, We created a console which there will be towels and water and all sort of refreshments, but everything has to weight control. So if the guest don't want to be disturbed, the crew doesn't need to enter because they will have their iPad notification if they need to come to refill, they need to come to add clean towels or anything. So I think this is a very good kind of use of new technologies and in the environment and in the guest sort of like to make them comfortable in the surroundings. Yeah.
I actually do have a question about that iPad. You brought it up because that's what I was thinking when I was designing many moons ago. We were talking about the iPads and the digital screens that would be embedded in everybody's cabin and in different rooms. But are those apps also available on your phone, or because of internet, we still want to rely on the screens that stay on the inside the vessels? Because I cannot imagine living without something that's not on my app on my phone. It's basically if your company is a technology company and you haven't created a mobile app, chances are I'm not gonna be using you, because one thing, I may be losing that iPad, but that phone is stuck with me. Just not when I shower, but everybody else, every other time I know where it is. And if not with the with the watch, I can always like pinpoint where it is. So are clients still relying on these iPads, these screens that stay on board, or they're asking more for apps and technology that's embedded on their phones? Do you hear that at all from clients, or is that not a topic of conversation?
I hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I hear from clients that they want some systems that they use already in their houses, because then they have one app and they can manage cameras and see what is happening on board. And yeah, I heard about it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think it's also kind of very personal, because sometimes not everyone wants to have extra thing on their phone and be kind of monitored. So I think it's very, if you chartered a boat and you have just guests there for a week or two, they don't want to be completely, open their phone to any new apps or anything. So it's very personal, I would say.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's like we still use Kindles and other ones, because when you open a news article on your phone, you also have to answer like 20 notifications before that, and you forgot you opened it to read the article. So that's a good point of like making sure you disconnect from your normal life to your luxury experience now that you're on board yachts.
It's the digital detox. People go on board also to have a digital detox, there to read their book, to be laying outside and just being, enjoying the environment, being closer to the sea and not constantly on their iPad. So it's very personal, but
I think it's personal completely. One client wants one thing and the other completely the opposite. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I love how technology evolves, so I'm going to continue to pay attention to what devices are people using. Let's talk a little bit back about sustainability, and I love that you integrated feedback. So maybe, Iliyana, can you tell us a little bit about what kind of feedback have you heard when you're talking to your clients on sustainability design, and maybe even what of that feedback has influenced your work?
Yes, so it's more when I propose products which are made from sustainable materials, a lot to do with linen, bed linen, bath linen made from eco cotton, or certain cashmere, natural cashmere blend blankets, or other accessories which are used on a daily basis, and the clients appreciate. Often they are more durable as opposed to others that are made from more artificial fibers, or that are dyed with more, let's say, toxic dye. So from my perspective, from my point of view, more related to the accessories on board, I think more and more clients appreciate the natural materials, and that's the feedback that I received, that despite being, besides being more natural, they are also more durable. And as Carla mentioned, they are timeless. Many of the pieces that are coming from nature are truly timeless pieces, regardless if it's art or part of the decor or the design, that clients appreciate because they don't get as tired of them as well. And those are, yeah, materials that are more durable in the future.
Yeah. That's a great point. I actually am more curious about the feedback from clients. Maybe, I don't know if anyone can answer this, but as far as you can share, what has been the strangest, interesting feedback that you have received from a client or have been asked from a client to include in your space, in your designs? Anything that stuck with you, if anyone wants to take that question?
Well, actually, it's not strange, and I don't know if it is sustainable or not, this what they request, but they asked me to change all the rugs because the rugs were done in silk. And silk, they were very sad to understand that these animals were working to give us this this material, and they didn't want to have that in their space. That is, I think, okay, it's sustainable, but it's not sustainable because we need to buy another one and put in here.
I was just thinking that if you're talking about the animals,
yeah,
I get that connection. But if you're throwing it out because it wasn't sustainable in the beginning, now you're producing more trash. So.
Yeah, I think it's the sustainability. There are like this vertent that is not about the world, but it's how you use the animals. No, it's another layer.
Yep.
And they are more for that side. Yeah, but it was a little bit weird.
Anyone else?
We had once which was really nice request, and it was to use only local manufacturers and craftsmanship and just the local people. Yeah, so I feel like, yeah, fair enough. This is very good. So, and we did, and I got so many new connections, and it was actually a very nice project in the end.
That's great. Iliyana, do you have a story that you want to share around this topic?
No, when I was listening to the ladies, especially the story with the rugs, I think from my point of view, when I think of more functionality, it is true that silk or other more delicate materials on board require more care. And I do remember on board the Moderator when we were dealing with a lot of outdoor carpets, which we needed to clean. And it's a process. It's not as simple as bringing your carpet somewhere. It requires professional care, knowing the composite of every piece of carpet. It's a lot to do with. For me, design is not just designing a yacht that looks aesthetically beautiful. It needs to be functional, and as the lady said, it needs to be really durable in time. And if you put items that are beautiful but fragile, often with not the right care, they can really be difficult to maintain, and thus creating more replacements which are not sustainable. So it's more adding to their point that from a functional point of view, someone who's been maintaining delicate surfaces on board, this is also something to be considered in the design stage.
Yeah, great point. If it's not durable and it was sustainable, it won't be sustainable for that long either. Something to think about there. Dasha mentioned manufacturers. So what role do suppliers and manufacturers play in supporting sustainable designs? And how do you collaborate with them? Maybe Dasha, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, well, thank you. I think suppliers and manufacturers really play a crucial role in supporting the sustainable yacht design and providing us the materials, components, and the technologies that are necessary to build these environmentally responsible yachts. Yeah. So I think that our collaboration with like Ili and Carla can say as well. I think it's really crucial for us to have had good collaboration and achieved these sustainable goals. And because design, innovation, craftsmanship, everything go hand in hand, and it's very important to combine the traditional craftsmanship with cutting edge technology. And there are many, many amazing companies which are really providing sustainable finishes. And I always say that the luxury and sustainable design really is not about losing any uniqueness, because there is one company which I always talk about in sustainable design and special finishes, Nature Squared. And this company is based in UK, but they've been like pioneering brand for sustainable design for 20 years, 20 years really. And the main core for them is creating and sourcing the materials from like farming and from fishing, and transforming these materials would be normally considered as waste. They create these unique new finishes, and it's created from leaves, seeds, from barks, from eggshells and bones and feathers, like everything. And it's just amazing for us as a designers to even collaborate people like this, because we can together create even more unique finishes and then offer to clients something special.
I was actually going to ask, how did you find these sustainable manufacturers? But I'm assuming at the trade show, as many of them have a section for sustainability design, that's where you get most of the information. Maybe, Iliyana, do you want to chime in and add to Dasha's answer about manufacturers? How do they play a role in sustainable design?
Yes, I fully agree with Dasha that we rely on manufacturers to offer us better options, better solutions of sustainable materials that we can integrate in the design and decorative stage. I have come across throughout different trade shows of different suppliers that use recycled plastic or plastic collected by small kids to stuff different, like even soft toys that are used for specific furniture pieces. Or there are other suppliers that use coffee shells waste to create compound that could be used for furniture. Speaking about the maritime industry, there are suppliers who make chairs from recycled plastic, often made from ropes that are otherwise waste in the oceans. So there are more and more suppliers who are offering those alternatives. There, as we mentioned earlier, alternatives to leather, alternatives to fabrics that are not dyed with toxic dye, and this allows us to create something much more sustainable in the furnishings, in the materials and the objects we place on board.
Do you ever feel that when you have to stay with a sustainable design, that you are at some point compromising the luxury vision that you had thought of? Or are we now in a moment that there's thankfully so many materials and so many manufacturers that are now on board with sustainable design that you have enough options to complete your vision? Anyone want to answer that? Everybody nodded, so I'm assuming everyone agrees that you do not have to compromise. But
yeah, I think it's our function as a designer is to discover everything, because the owners, of course, they have their stories, their work. They don't have time to do that, and I think it is one of our tasks is to go and see if it works, because sometimes as well you see a very nice material, you think that is great, you try, but then after 1 year it's not so good for I don't know, it's crack, or we need to try that. I think it's our work to be on top of all these new materials, but of course that we have, I think more and more we have billions of options, but it's our like function to go there and choose and try and see if it works or not, and then present to the client.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that everyone's on the same page then with that one. And there's no more limitations. It's always in the back of my head that it is it's a clientele with very high demands, very high standards. So I thought maybe there was some pushback or something that you just could not achieve at the current stage of the manufacturing process. But it seems like everybody already caught up. So that would have been a question for a forum a few years ago, I guess. I want to go back to technology, if that's okay. I want to understand, how do you ensure that the integration of technology does not compromise aesthetic? Dasha, you were talking about before how there's technology for you to hide stuff or to make the user experience more friendly. So how do you ensure that that integration actually happens with a good balance?
That's a good question. So, well, first of all, as we also said, everything is very personal. So I think it's very important to always have a talk with the client, what are the expectations, what they want, because also the age of the client is different, because some older client would like to have more visible things. Younger are very happy to have more invisible, the kind of control systems or panels and things like that. So it's very personal. But yeah, I don't know what to add, to be honest. But there are plenty of different uses, and
you got me thinking of refits again. If you replace the soft goods, but you're changing, someone that purchased it has a different age. Now I want to see the technology versus having it hidden. That adds another layer of sustainability to the whole process as well.
Yeah.
We talked about VR very briefly before. So interesting. Is that very common in the field to present all the technologies through VR? What is the impact of those emerging technologies, augmented reality, virtual reality, on your design process? Carla, you brought it up, so maybe you want to take the lead on this one.
Yeah, well, depends of the size of the project as well, right? Because it still is a very expensive tool and requires a lot of work behind, a lot of hours. But it's a very nice experience for the client. That there are now you really can fly on top of your space. You can go in. Basically, and the quality of the image really feels that you are in the space. It's crazy how this technology is going more and more. And I believe it's very grateful when the client can feel the space before to have the space. But as I said, we need to be careful a little bit, because we need to create this project very, very close to the reality. And then this requires a lot of work behind, because it's not only show an AI picture that, oh, everything is perfect, but really needs to be designed profoundly, and we know that this will work at the end. And this is something that requires a lot of time. But I think it's very important for the client to not have any imagination, because it's good to have an imagination when they see this sketch, but could be a bad imagination that they imagine something that is completely different, and it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking you envisioned this. That was not my direction, but but how do you deal with having something so perfect? Aren't there times where the reality doesn't match exactly, or is it so close, the VR to the reality, that you don't have to go through these uncomfortable conversations afterwards?
More and more projects, we are going very, very close to the reality. There, you can put the picture of the space and the rendering, and they are almost the same. Of course, that in the middle of the process could happen something, but it's always good to change the render and show to the client and get the approval, because he will have that image in their head, and it could be a problem. But I think now when how we do the 3D modeling and how we create these spaces could be basically the same.
Okay. Well, good.
I can jump in. I absolutely agree with Carla. It's also very crucial, as you just mentioned, to re-render something or show the new visuals, just to be sure that you agree with the final results. And I'm really happy because me and my team, we really care about not only virtual reality, but like maybe really the experience, giving the client the experience of what they will be getting. And like the technologies are so far that we can create this immersive experience. And we will be presenting at the Monaco Yacht Show together with Lateral and VBH. At VBH stand, they have this special small room, which like an immersive experience. And one of our projects, Senses, will be all over the world. So you will virtually be standing inside, and you will feel that you are in it, yeah, with the same size, with everything. So I'm really excited about that. So that's really nice. And I think it's a really beautiful way how to the future way how to present to clients, yeah, like and it's so easy to change things as well. So we actually recently had one client who was not super happy about one of the finishes we created, and I said it's absolutely fine, because I just would like to show how very easy is to change some surfaces, and it immediately changes also how you feel and how the space, the environment feels to you. And in the end, he was very happy to our option, because what he was pushing us for would not really feel good at all. So I think also for this, it's really nice to have the opportunity to work fast in 3D and visualization and things like that, because it proves you can design what clients ask for, but maybe sometimes to show that your solution or your direction can give them nice results, and they will feel better. Yeah.
Yeah, but the clients still like to see the materials and all, it's the things that you can touch.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like one part of the process, and the other parts we really want to show everything, how are the materials, and they want to put together. I think it's just one more tool, but helps a lot.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, of course, you present also the material board, yeah. So you present all finishes and everything, so they can little bit, imagine how it will be, how it will feel, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it doesn't matter the level of technology. You always have these mood boards, so people can actually touch them, not only from the fabric, but also to the switches. Even when I remember when I was on the refit that I was part of, that was a huge conversation. I think it took weeks. What exact color of what switch? What he had a preference. The back and forth for the one switch. Of course, it was the system was going to be implemented on all the vessels, so he was going to see this all over the place. But it took a very long time, and then it was how did it feel on his touch? So you can't get away from how things feel at your touch.
And also you create mock-ups, yeah. So usually when you build a yacht, you create also like a really one-to-one mock-up, one area, so you can also really feel and see and do all detailing, so everything is perfectly created and approved.
So we have only a few minutes to go. So before we wrap up, I want to actually ask 2 more questions. So try to keep them as concise as possible. But we're talking about the future of your space of yacht interior design. So it may not be possible. So in what ways might the concept of luxury evolve in yacht interior design in the future? I feel we've talked about this at length already, but if you have any closing thoughts on what do you see the future of your space? Iliyana, why don't we start with you?
Yes. Well, I think as you mentioned, we discussed a lot about. I think it really depends on the lifestyle of the client. So yes, future is. future trends are all about, again, bigger windows, more natural lights, more natural colors, curved forms, like the furniture pieces that Carla is making. I love them. They're so curved and beautiful, and I found them very nice. But from my perspective, in more the decorative side, I see more and more people, more and more clients wanting to have more plants indoor on the boats, and there's more and more, speaking back to the suppliers, companies offering very natural bio plants, which are preserved plants, and they save not only time and energy, but they are also giving this ease for the crew to not worry of replenishing the plants or the flowers on board daily, or I don't know how often they do it, depending on the climate and where the boat is. But there is a lot of different trends, even in the decor, that I see that people are more open to, as opposed to previously being more traditional for certain type of plants, certain type of furniture, certain type of accessories. I think for me, it's again more being close to your local suppliers and offering something that is more organic. In terms of the decor, for me, this is the current, my most current requested, let's say, most requested by my clients. And for the trends in the future, I think there will be more and more interesting accessories that are derived from organic materials. We do still see a lot of leather accessories or crystal used on board, and I think more and more we will be replacing those with other alternatives. And again, thanks to the different manufacturer and innovative technologies, we're able to offer something more future and eco-friendly.
Thank you, Iliyana. Carla, Dasha, do you want to chime in with your answers?
Yeah, I just think that more and more clients are going to actually leaving the boat, and this, I think, it's something that I'm like seeing my clients asking, and more people want to stay more time in the boat, and then maybe this will change a little bit the spaces and how you storage things, and I don't know, maybe has some. Your galley will be a little bit bigger. I don't know. I think go a little bit towards to really live in the boat. This is what I feel.
Dasha, do you have anything to add?
To follow up on what Carla said, if yes, the owners will be more spending time on board, I think that interior design will focus more on reducing energy consumption through battery isolation, energy efficiency appliances, smart energy management system. Maybe interiors will be more flexible and modular, that can be easily reconfined and suit different needs and occasions. So, you know, there can be some movable walls, comfortable furniture, adaptable spaces. Yeah, so.
Great. We have 2 more minutes, so I'm going to ask one question and you guys pick who actually answers that. We all know we're going into boat show season. Many of us have our bags packed already. Some have already migrated from the States to Europe in this panel. How are you preparing for Cannes, Monacles, and the other shows that are coming up? Is there a different way that you prepare yourself as an interior designer? Dasha already mentioned that she will actually have a space that she will be showcasing at the Monaco Yacht Show. I already got dibs on the tour there from Dasha. But maybe, Iliyana, Carla, do you want to say, how are you preparing for this boat show season? Any tips for the people that are listening and that will also be there with you?
Yeah, I have actually 2 shipyards in Cannes that I work for. That is Van der Valk and Bering, and we represent some of our projects. And in Monaco, we have Icon, and that I did some concept design for one interior as well. And I think to prepare, very low shoes, very comfortable. clothes because you walk a lot, and it will be hot. Bring your water, but let's check everything. I think it's super interesting. Cannes is beautiful, the lifestyle, and then when you go out, it's a very nice show, and Monaco as well. It's just enjoy.
Great. Iliyana, do you have any way that you want to add?
Well, for me, Monaco has been my home for the last 16 years. So it's quite special to have the yacht show there. And it's my favorite show, my favorite time of the year. And I'm just happy to welcome all of my colleagues, friends to the show. For me this year, it will be busy with lots of different events and initiatives I'm taking part of, and also with my partners from the refit company based in Dubai. It's a place where you really connect with everyone from everywhere, and I feel that it's going to be also busier this year at the Cannes Boat Show. As Carla said, there is more and more new boats being showcased in Cannes, so I'm looking forward to that. And with the Yachting Association, YPY Monaco, we are also hosting events at both Cannes and Monaco. So it's going to be intense, but very positive.
Great. Dasha, I know you already shared, but you want to close out the session, and if you want to add more to your presentation and your exhibit coming up in Monaco.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm very excited that we will be able to show one of our projects there. And I'm also actually talking about the yacht shows, very excited to going first time to the Fort Lauderdale this year, where we will be also presenting our new project with Ocean Co, because we are one of the interior partners for Simply System. So there will be something new as well there. So very excited. But I loved Carla's sort of points like flat shoes and water and a bed and really like that. Yeah, will be very nice. And seeing everyone, yeah, in person will be wonderful.
Yes, seeing everyone in person will be amazing. Thank you so much for this lovely session. I think we learned a lot regarding sustainability, technology integrations, manufacturers, how all they come into place, the different generations, how they are affecting your design guidelines, how you are adjusting, and the constant thought of not only how you're designing for that client, but what happens to the materials you're giving them for the future when it comes to durability, what happens when the next person actually takes them out, talking about designing in panels, and so much good information there when it comes to interior design and the future of it. So thank you so much. For everyone that's listening, don't worry, all their links are in all the social media promotional content that I have shared already, but it will also be included in the recording video that will be available later on YouTube, so you can continue to follow them. But I personally encourage you to go follow them on LinkedIn and Instagram, just because I'm biased and they're also my preferred platforms, and they're also very active on this, so it's quite fun to stay in touch. Thank you so much for everything, and I'm gonna let you guys go because we're gonna have a 2-minute break, and we will continue with our next session.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, we're back. I'm hoping you had a moment to go stretch your legs. If not, don't worry, you'll get another break in 30 minutes. So it's all good. We're going to continue with our next session about the evolution of shipyard management. You'll hear about trends, innovations, and risk solutions. In this session, we will focus on the crucial role of project managers in shipbuilding, emphasizing their responsibility and maintaining high standards of quality. It will cover key areas including the development of talent and workforce strategies, adherence to industry standards and practices, and the integration of automated quality control and AI in supply chain management. Additionally, you'll hear real-world case studies will be examined to highlight successful application of best practices in the field. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming Sara Maggi, who is our speaker today, and Liz Schmidt, who is going to be the moderator, so you are getting a break from me.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm going to leave you guys to enjoy the session. Bye.
Hello.
Hello, Liz.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Yes, absolutely. Morning here, afternoon where you are at, definitely. Well, let's go ahead and jump right in, Sara. I know that you wanted to introduce the topic a little bit, and then we'll jump right into some questions regarding project managers.
Sure. First of all, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning. I am Sara Maggi, and it's a privilege to be here today to discuss about the evolution of the shipyard management. In the world of shipbuilding, where precision, innovation, and management excellence are paramount, the role of the project manager has never been more crucial. Today, we will explore how this role is evolving, particularly in the area of talent development, adherence to industry standards, and the integration of cutting-edge technologies such as AI in supply chain management.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for that awesome introduction, and we can go ahead and jump in. We've got some great questions, and we'll kick it right off. We're going to talk a little bit about building that talent and workforce, which is very important. And so what are some of the most critical skills and attributes you look forward when hiring project managers?
First of all, I would say that the foundation of any successful shipyard is its people. Project managers must not only understand the critical skills required for high-quality construction, but also be proactive in developing those skills within their teams. There are several effective strategies for developing talent and building a strong workforce, such as, for example, mentorship programs, encouraging learning and development, creating a collaborative work environment, recognizing and rewarding employees for their hard work. Companies like Benetti and Ferretti Group have set the benchmark with their academy training programs that focus on both technical expertise and leadership development. These programs help build cohesive teams capable of delivering exceptional results, ensuring that the workforce is equipped to meet the complex demands of the modern yacht building.
Yeah, definitely. I think all of those programs are really important, especially mentorship. I think that's very important in our industry, as some of the work we do is so unique that the way you get those skills is right with those mentors. Absolutely. How can yacht building companies effectively develop and retain top talent within their project management team?
Well, maintaining the highest standard of quality is a non-negotiable aspect of the yacht construction. Adherence to rigorous industry standard is vital, and the project managers must ensure that every process aligns with these benchmarks. For instance, San Lorenzo has adopted an ISO-based quality management system that guarantees every yacht meets the most stringent safety and reliability criteria. As the project manager, our role is to embed these standards into every phase of the project, from design to delivery, ensuring that the quality is never compromised.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important to keep that. Once you get those great people in there, very important to maintain them in the industry. And so what are some strategies that project managers can employ to motivate their teams and ensure high performance throughout the yacht construction process? Because as we know, it can take a long time and there can be lots of setbacks. So what are some of those strategies that you utilize?
Well, the integration of AI and automation in yacht building is very important, and is not just a trend, it is a transformative force. Advanced technologies like AI-driven quality control systems are revolutionizing how we manage both the construction process and the supply chain. A great example is Guilhem Yacht, which has implemented AI-based system to monitor construction in real time. This system allows early detection of potential issues, significantly reducing error and improving the overall efficiency. By embracing these technologies, we can streamline operation, reduce the production time, and ultimately deliver higher quality yachts.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see a lot of AI integration, I think, in the next couple of years. How can project managers balance the need for technical expertise with the importance of soft skills like leadership and communication within their team?
For sure, there are several ways. Let me share a case that highlights the power of this innovation. Lurtzen, a leader in super yacht construction, recently adopted an advanced quality control automation system. And this system uses sensors and AI algorithms to monitor every phase of construction, reducing review times by 15% while maintaining exceptional quality. This case exemplifies how cutting-edge technology can be leveraged to achieve remarkable outcomes, and it underscores the importance of staying at the forefront of industry advancement. In conclusion, the role of the project manager in yacht building is evolving rapidly. To succeed, we must adapt at developing talents, enforcing industry standards, and integrating new technologies. The future of shipyard management lies in our ability to adapt and innovate, ensuring that we continue to set the highest standard in yacht construction.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you for your attention. I look forward to any question you might have.
Yeah, absolutely. So when working with your teams, what do you feel are some skills that you like to share with your teams? What do you like to show your teams when you're giving them when you're working with a team in project management? What skills do you have that you like to share with them?
I think, in my opinion, the first and most important skill for a project manager is the technical expertise. I believe that a strong understanding of yacht construction processes, materials, and industry standard is essential. This includes knowledge of engineering principles, design, and of course, project management methodologies. Moreover, also leadership and team management. In fact, the ability to lead, inspire, and manage multidisciplinary teams effectively is crucial. These include conflict resolution, decision-making, and fostering collaboration. Also, another skill is the problem-solving skill, meaning the capacity to anticipate potential issues and develop innovative solutions to keep the project on track. In addition, communication, actually a strong verbal and written communication skill to liaise with clients, suppliers, and team members, ensure that everyone is aligned with the project's goal. Finally, I think it's very important the attention to detail. Precision and meticulous approach are vital in yacht building because the quality and the safety here are not negotiable.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the challenges that you're seeing with the integration of new technologies and successes? So successes and challenges, what are you seeing with the integration of new technology as a project manager?
The common challenge could be that we can overcome our first avoiding inconsistent supplier quality. In other words, mitigating by selecting a reliable supplier with a proven track record and conducting regular audits. Also, time constraint is a very big challenge. This could be overcome by balancing tight project deadlines with the need for complete quality checks by integrating quality control into the project timeline. Moreover, addressing skill gaps by providing ongoing training and ensuring that all team members understand the importance of the quality standards. Finally, ensuring that clear and consistent communication among all the stakeholders, including subcontractors and suppliers, to avoid misunderstanding that could affect quality.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the successes you've seen in the integration of these new technologies and AI?
AI, well, the artificial intelligence is lately becoming more and more a reality in everyday life. It is now entering also in the shipbuilding industry. And there are several potential ways of integration, such as the automated visual inspection. That means that AI-driven cameras and sensors can automatically inspect materials and components for defect, ensuring precision in construction. Moreover, predictive analytics. AI can analyze data from past projects to predict potential quality issues, allowing for proactive measures. Another example is robotic process automation. Robots can perform repetitive tasks with high accuracy, such as welding or surface finishing, reducing the human error. Finally, digital twins. In other words, creating digital replicas of yachts to simulate and analyze the construction process in real time, helping to identify potential flaws before they occur. That said, I believe that today only a few yacht builders actually already apply one or more of these methods, because in my opinion, our industry is, however, still very people-centric and depending on the excellence and skills of the craftsmanship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna see it integrated, but I think you're right. We are so people-centric, and things change so quickly. You know, vessel owners, they want something different one day and they change, and so we have to be able to adapt to that pretty quickly. And so I agree with you. I don't ever see it completely going robotic. We still are very people-centric, and are always going to be that is what the industry benchmark is. Can you talk a little bit about some of the best ways that project managers can collaborate together? I know a lot of times, you know, you're kind of with your teams and you're working on your specific projects and in your areas, but what are some ways that you find that you can best collaborate or learn from other project managers in the field?
For sure, I think that you can offer training programs for team building, offering training that combines both technical and soft skills can, let's say, put together the people, ensuring that team members are well-rounded in their capabilities. Okay. You can also demonstrate the importance of both technical expertise and soft skills through their own behavior, setting an example for them. Or you can promote collaboration, encouraging collaboration between team members with different strengths, ensuring that the technical experts work closely with those who have strong leadership and communication skills. And finally, I think with regular assessment. This is to say, conducting a regular assessment to identify area where team members may need to improve their soft skills and providing targeted training or coaching to address these needs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really important amongst the team, people being able to have some of those benchmark skills and then being able to know where some of the areas they can improve. And then in addition to that, having the skills or the ability to go and improve, not the skills, but having the training to be able to go and improve those things. Absolutely. What role do project managers play in sharing and documenting best practices within our industry? I think project managers are such at the forefront of seeing a lot of the new technologies and a lot of the new builds that are coming out. And so how do you feel that project managers can best document those best practices?
I think that this can happen through sharing with them benchmarks for quality. So you can achieve a notable industry result also with best practice networks. I mean, establishing networks for project managers to share experience, challenges, and solutions can lead to broader adoption of successful quality practices. Mm-hmm. Workshop and seminars. A project manager should set regularly participating in and organizing workshop and seminars focused on quality management can help project managers stay updated on the latest trends and innovation. Moreover, cross-project learning. I mean, encouraging project managers to learn from other ongoing projects within their organization can lead to the adoption of innovative solutions and avoidance of potential pitfalls.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely helpful to be able to share with each other, I think, because someone could be doing something really great and we don't know it exists, right? Unless we're communicating with each other or documenting or sharing those best practices. And so all of those, I think, are really important for project managers and anybody in this industry to be able to learn from each other as things are also growing really, really quickly. So we just have a couple minutes left, but I wanted to ask Sara about, we we learned in the last session about the upcoming, they talked a little bit about upcoming shows. And so I wanted to hear from you. I know you're planning on attending some of the shows upcoming this fall. Is there anything that you're really looking forward to, especially from that project manager standpoint? Anything you're really looking forward to seeing when you're at the shows this fall?
For sure, as also the other speaker said before, this is it's a show for us. It is a very nice period for us to meet all our colleagues and friends and meet clients. And so for sure, what we go to look around is the results, the achievements of the other shipyard, of our colleagues, of our competitors, and see in the reality their results. This is a very important outcome from these events. But as they said, it is also for everybody like the celebration of 1 year or even more of hard work. So for sure, what we do at the incoming boat show is to celebrate our outcomes and other outcomes, and also be inspired from the work of other people, and also from give us, you know, a great recognition of also our own job.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you touch on celebrate, because I think that's so important. A lot of times everybody is we're so busy. We've got so much going on. We've got so many projects to get done, and we tend to just be continuing to move forward. But really taking that time to stop and to celebrate our project, but also of our colleagues and friends, like you said, and really taking the chance to look at something and be really, really proud of ourselves and our industry and our friends for being able to do that. And that is such a great part of these shows that we all get to take part in this industry. Sara, thank you so much for joining us today. Do you have any other final comments or anything that we didn't discuss today that you'd like to share about project managing or about the industry before we sign off today?
No, I just we have talked a little about the artificial intelligence, and it is really for me, and I think for the most of the shipyard people in Italy, like to talk about the future. To integrate and in order to arrive to this future, we should prepare. Today, I think we have to prepare the base for this, and so that we can better incorporate this new, very important future in our world, which is very complex and very demanding. So for sure, we have to embrace all these new technologies that should change our way to work.
Yeah, absolutely. And that looking to the future, I think is a very important and definitely a theme. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much. And Sara, once again, thank you so much for taking time today to come on and answer some questions. And I look forward to hopefully connecting with you this fall and seeing you soon. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Andrea, for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. That was really, really insightful. So much information to digest. I actually cannot wait to grab the videos and transcribe all the copies so I can post it as an article later so everybody can really digest all the details that were included in this only 30-minute session. Sara, Maggi, Schmidt. All your info, as I said before, will be in the description of the videos and in all social media promotional content. So please go ahead and follow them and their companies as well. They're working really hard on innovative projects, so you do not want to miss out.
For sure.
We're going to go back to that 2-minute break as we prepare for our last session of the day. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome back to our last session of the day. I am very excited to hear about engineering and naval architecture and the exterior design of shipbuilding. That's something I'm not as familiar with, so I'm very eager to hear Antonella's thoughts about it. So our next session is Revolutionizing Yacht Exterior Design. We're going to learn about AI innovations and customizations. In this session, you'll learn and we will discover how AI is transforming yacht exterior design by enhancing hull engineering and customization. Explore the latest innovations in hull design that push performance and aesthetics to new heights. Learn about bespoke exterior options that cater to individual preferences, shaping the future of yacht luxury. Join us to see how cutting-edge technology is redefining the possibilities of yacht design. So I'm going to welcome right now back Lise Schmidt. She was in the previous session. And Antonella Scarfiello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining us. I will leave you both to it.
Thank you.
Great. Well, good morning, Antonella. Thank you so much. Or afternoon, maybe. It's morning where I'm at. But we're very excited to have you here and looking forward to jumping into some of our questions. So if you're ready, we can go ahead and start.
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, good morning to you, and good afternoon for people like me that are in Middle Europe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let's jump right in. We're going to talk a little bit about AI. That was a big topic in our last session, and I know just in general. So we'll jump right in. But how is AI currently being integrated into yacht engineering?
Well, I don't see yet a full integration of AI in yacht engineering process yet. However, some shipyards are working on that. Some of them are designing and engineering with parametric software, and they are working on systems to integrate some of the AI tools. For those who are still using tools that are managing NURBS or mesh, I don't see, as modeling tools, I don't see this happening anytime soon. So, yeah, we need to start now. Some already did, and they're in a good way. I hope that everybody will join the new way of thinking, modeling, and engineering.
Yeah, I think as we look into the future, we'll hopefully see more of an integration. But as been talked about before, this industry is so people-centric that we are going to always have to have engineers and people at the start of it. But absolutely. What are some specific AI technologies that you see a most significant impact in yacht design?
Mostly tools focused on sustainability. Fortunately, the yacht demanding is still growing. We had some years that the demand growth and is keeping growing. And but there are some owners that are asking solutions for optimize the vessel's performance, reducing fuel and energy consumption and emissions. AI can help with that, since generative AI can create intelligent 3D models based on simple concepts or a series or rudimentary sketches. So yeah, it really can help. And
yeah, in some of those ways, we can see some significant changes. Can you provide any examples of some AI-driven innovations in the industry, especially in areas that you work with?
Yeah. For instance, there is the Azimuth Magellano 60, who was presented at the last Monaco Yacht Show. The Magellano 60 is powered by Google Cloud and has this technology where the AI enables voice control for entertainment, lighting, climate, and household devices. This system also offers real-time data while on board, allowing ship owners to monitor water and fuel levels, thus optimizing resource management. They also use the tool to consult the onboard technical manuals, which is really, really handy. Also, I think it's very interesting the work that Olensky Design is doing with the Southampton University. They're building an AI tool for avoiding unnecessary tips around the design spiral. The goal is optimizing the yacht design process. The designers, we all know, they can get quite far into, and eventually they need to start all over. The algorithm of this tool is generic itself yet. There's no explicit reference to the boat design, but it's very powerful at solving sorts of problems that require this type of computation. It can solve for several different objectives at the same time, whether the furniture is placed correctly, the cabins are properly accessed, or they have enough space, the required space by the regulation. Ceiling heights, or the ceiling heights needs to be adjusted. The software explores all the possible solutions, identifying the dead ends, and does it rapidly. Of course, after that, we need someone, the physical designer, able to choose between the option, what is the best that he think suits the project.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. At the end, we do need that human touch for sure. What are some of those?
Yes.
Yeah, right. What are some of the challenges you see with implementing AI in yacht engineering?
About the construction techniques, I think we need a little bit more time to see where AI can lead us. I'm in shipbuilding from some years now. I've been in 3 different companies, and I can tell you that all of them, they have very different knowledge, very different know-how, and often the owners, they choose where to build their own project based also into that. And it's a challenge for every yard to find a way to use this very powerful tool on their way, find their own way to use the tool and to keep doing their own work the way they know.
Yeah, absolutely.
More powerful.
Right, absolutely. How do you integrate that in with your company and with your specific strategies of your company, but also maintaining the skills that you possess, but using AI is absolutely important for sure. I'd like to transition a little bit and talk about more of some innovations in design and engineering. And so what are some of the most recent advancements in yacht design and that you're seeing that are revolutionizing the industry?
Well, it depends, because if we speak generally about trends, I see that there is a trend which I really like. The design is being much more simple, much more clean, and but simple or clean, it doesn't mean easier. It's the opposite. It's much more complicated to keep everything clean, and it's very difficult. If we speak about innovation, if we speak about specific feature, I see a very funny trend, which is like keeping a little pool on the platform aft. It's a trend that started with Rebecca from Lomonov Design. So now everybody wants this little pool on the platform aft, even on boats that are below 500 GT. But this means that the profile of the boat really needs to stay low in the aft and needs space, especially because they often want also the lifting platform. So when they use the pool, the platform is down, and when they don't use the pool, the platform is flush, and they can walk on that. But this means to, let's say, steal space from the technical spaces and from the engine room, because at lower deck we all know that the crew space is already, always very small. And this sacrifices a lot of technical space. And but the most funny thing is that I really don't see the owners using that pool, because it's just at the end it's gonna have just 70 or 80 millimeters of water, and they're not gonna use that. It's more like a bidet than a pool. But yeah, it's a nice feature that they can show at the yacht shows, that they can show when the boat is moored at the harbor, and of course it makes the boat more sellable, let's say. Right. And but yeah, that's interesting. It's a challenge for the engineers. It's a big challenge, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to stick with those trends that maybe aren't the most efficient, right, on board, but but those vessel owners are wanting them, absolutely. So I'd like to know, what are some successful case studies of innovative hull designs you've seen in recent yacht projects?
Yeah, I like that question. In my opinion, the most interesting advancement is the use of a hydrogen fuel cell. The project A21 by Fedship is a real game changer. It is a zero diesel approach designed to cruise between harbors or anchorages to operate the yacht's hotel load and amenities with zero emission free power from green hydrogen. The hydrogen fuel cells is a combustion-free way to generate electricity, have pure water as the only exhaust. And the results are immediately visible. Indeed, in 2025, next year, 2 long route Norwegian passenger and car ferries will enter into service using the system pioneered with the Power Cell group for Project A21. I think that is amazing. That is really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those technologies, the more we see them utilized and the more streamlined those builds become, we're going to see that a lot more. And all of that sustainability is going to be very important. Absolutely.
Yeah, hope so. I know also that other yards that also they're having more strength on line, not fully custom. They're approaching the hydrogen, so I'm happy about that. It's interesting. I think it's really the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We need to start somewhere in order to improve in that. So definitely. I'd like to talk a little bit more about customization and personalization, which we talked about with these pools here. And we talked about the trends. But also I know that you have some interesting examples of some other unique or unusual customization requests that you've seen from vessel owners.
Yeah, the most, let's say, crazy and very successful. Again, it was beautiful. It was a glass keg with a reading room inside. The owner was very passionate about books, and he had those those libraries all around the yacht, but he had let's say kind of secret route to reach the keg, and just reading inside that. It was very cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very, very cool. So how does personalization impact the overall cost and timeline when you're looking at the design and construction?
Well, we mostly do in yacht building, we mostly do custom yachts. So the personalization is, of course, a great part of that. For selling the project, of course, we promise the owner that he's going to have everything he wants. And if you think that the building process is about 3 years, of course, he's going to change his mind in 3 years. He's going to change his needs. He's going to change his wife's. He's going to change his tastes. And he's going to ask. The designers and the yards are going to do their mistakes, of course, because it's also that part. And we must be really able to add the personalization until the end. That's challenging. The project managers and the timeline needs to be set in the way to reach that goal.
Yeah.
But it needs to be done for all the project. If you don't do lines, but even if you do lines like the azimuth, they still ask for some kind of personalization. You must be ready for that.
Yeah. So do you have any strategies that you employ to anticipate some of those changes, as you said, as that build process continues?
Not really, because they are always different.
Yeah.
What we try to do in the technical offices is to keep track of the decisions. So when we have a meeting with the owners, to write down exactly what they need and to make them sign the samples, the drawings, the renders, whatever. Because if the month after is going to come and is going to ask a completely different, I don't know, owner's cabin or main salon, he needs to be able to accept a cost difference and a delay on the delivery. So you must be prepared to have proof. You say, okay, you wanted that, you change your mind, it's fine, but it means that you have to wait a little bit more for the delivery. Of course, you need to pay the change order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's really important, right? Like you said, having that proof, that accountability, and then fully making sure that everyone is aware of that process when you need to make those changes or want to make those changes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges and opportunities that you see integrating custom design elements with existing yacht structures?
Well, if the demand is not crazy, it's always possible to do it. I mean, earlier to do it in the stage process, easier is to do it. If you do the change request in the first year, while you still have the boat in a carpentry phase, is still, acceptable and not easy, but is doable. More you go over with the engineering and the finishing, well, that is that it can be tough, especially if the boat already has all the interior finishing set. Usually the yards try to not accept that kind of changes at that stage, but it all depends on what they are willing to accept. They are willing, if they are willing to accept quite a long delay and to pay a lot, most probably they will say yes.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, definitely. How can technology such as virtual or augmented reality facilitate the customization process for clients?
It really is facilitating. Let's take as an example the mock-ups. The mock-ups are those one-to-one scale models of a part of the yachts. Usually you have one for a technical space, one for a guest space, and one for the owner's place. That the yards they set and they build to make practically visible to the owners how the yacht will be at the end. Then it can practically touch the materials. It can see how perfect the joints and all the details it will be, and it's pretty much cost and time demanding. Also, after that, most probably they will be destroyed. And so, yeah, the virtual reality, it really can help with that, in my opinion, because still you have, we already have the 3D model, if we will be able to set the owner physically in that space in order to let him understand really what he's gonna have, it will help in terms of environment, so we don't have waste, in terms of time, in terms of changing, because it will be much easier to let him see, instead of have 3 mock-ups per boats, he can have like 10 virtual reality experience. Why not? So yeah, can be a way. I don't know how satisfying it can be for them, because some of them still they physically need to touch, what they're gonna have. But I see that most of the owners, they are really focusing on sustainability. So why not? Can be the case for some of them, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about what works right for any individual person, right, within that process, and utilizing any of the tools that we have at our exposure. And we have so many nowadays, which is really great. We just have a couple minutes left, but I wanted to ask Antonella, do you have any projects, or not you personally, but are you looking forward to or have any personal projects that are coming out this fall, maybe being debuted in any of the upcoming shows that you're really excited to see or to celebrate being introduced?
Not particularly. I mean, I missed the yacht show in the last 3 years, I think. So I really want to look around. It's a pity that in the last years it is more and more difficult to get on board. It's understandable, but yeah, I remember a few years ago it was really instructive. You know, it helped a lot for understanding better maybe the level you wanted to reach, what you wanted to avoid, where your colleagues, because I don't like the word competitors, but I think colleagues suits better, what your colleagues, they were looking and how they wanted to, what was the level that they wanted to reach. Now it's not really possible. That's a pity. So I think I'm gonna be there for a couple of days. I'm gonna run around and trying to see as much as possible. My current company is gonna have a stand also. It's gonna have a few boats, and I will be around, of course. And yeah, let's see. I hope to see something not different, because everybody is looking for something different. I hope I'm gonna see something good.
Yeah, I like that. Definitely. I really like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, as we're wrapping up here, Antonella, thank you so much for joining us. Did you have any final comments or anything that we didn't touch on that you'd like to share before we turn it back to Andrea?
No, I mean, we can talk for hours. First of all, I thank you and Andrea for this invitation. It's beautiful to see that in the last years, the amount of women that are in the yacht industry, not also on the architect part, but also in the engineering, is actually beautiful, because let's face it, it always have been a male world, and I really like this spirit of helping each other, be supportive with each other, since we are kind of not starting, but almost starting something between ourselves. I think it's really healthy to keep this spirit, trying to help each other and be there for support, advising, and
Absolutely.
This kind of behavior, I think, is it can be different from all the rest, and that's precious. I like it.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And it's so important to have that community where we as women are able to have that space to be able to talk about our ideas, but also to be able to showcase all the amazing work that we're doing, and to be able to hopefully start showcasing it at a grander level. And so you absolutely nailed that correctly, Antonella, that is perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really enjoyed our conversation. And as you said, we could probably talk about this for 4 hours, but it was really great to have you on today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to you, girls. Thanks again. And I will see you soon.
Oh, yeah. I will definitely see you both soon. This was truly amazing. Thank you both for being here, for taking the time. Liz, Schmidt for moderating 2 wonderful sessions, and Antonella Scarfiello for your wonderful insights. Actually, Antonella is quite unique, as she was saying. There are more women coming into the construction space, but in her specific area, there's very few women. So I'm always fascinated to hear what she's up to, how she continues to excel in her field. It's just truly amazing. And with that in mind, I want to give a shout out that we do have the Women in Yachting Awards coming up in November in Netstrade. And there are some women maybe on this forum that have already been nominated, and for obvious reasons. So I just want to thank you for the immense support, for always showing us that we can always continue to push boundaries, even though we don't see any other women around us. in specific projects. So I'm going to let both of you go. Thank you again for those watching and enjoyed the session, or you missed it. Don't worry, it will be available quite soon as I can actually edit everything afterwards on YouTube. So thank you again.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you all for joining us today for the opening day of Shipbuilding Forum. It is the first for Yacht Femme, so I am beyond grateful for everybody showing up as speakers, moderators, and viewers. Tomorrow we will continue with the second and final day featuring an outstanding panel leading marketers in the session, Strategic PR and Branding for Yacht Launches and Design Excellence. The day will conclude with a compelling interview on sales management at the shipyard level. We will explore market trends and economic forecasting, navigating markets amid global events. Your participation and engagement have made this event truly special. If you can attend live, don't worry, all the sessions will be available on demand. Just ensure you are registered to receive a notification with the recording links. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I hope you can make it tomorrow. Bye.